Sorry about this one, Daryl. It's just getting too damn hard and heavy on us. It's 3:45 in the morning still. West Coast time still Monday, the 29th of January 2024. And I was talking about old homesteads and places to live and places that meant a damn to me and my family. I was almost getting into an area where I didn't know how to race this up with you, Daryl. I really didn't. Because I know that dealing with your own grieving past, there would have been memories coming up on how you're going to be able to deal with things happening in your own lifetime. And going over some of the stuff in the San Fernando Valley was bringing up memories, and then the Antelope Valley of the progression from one area to the other areas. And the latest one I was going to tell you about, you probably already heard the story, but you're going to hear it again anyway. So I lived 5 years in Lancaster taking care of Mom, me and Dave, taking care of her before she passed. February's coming up. Your mom. I was going to ask you, back on the Google Maps again, look at the Antelope Valley. Look for Lancaster, city of Lancaster. There's a section of L and 10th. L being parallel, and the number streets are like north and south. Well, actually, they're all cross-referenced. So in this area called L and 10th, it's right across the street from a park, or huge lot anyway. Desert sands in that area. Sorry, just a bit of itching back there. I was going to show you the old apartment complex my family lived in 5 years over there, and I'm working my ass off at a local Walmart. Should have been working over at Costco. At least that way, I think the benefits would have been a hell of a lot better. That Walmart sucked, but it was still a paycheck anyway. The apartment complex we had on Allen 10th. Montecito Apartments, right across the street from the Costco. Nice place. Management didn't suck all the time, but corporate does that anyway. Bottom level, apartment 37 for 5 years. Barely remembering them, except dealing with Ma and their need to go to the hospital all the time or the doctor's office, or finally. We met a few good people. They still couldn't deal with the corporate, and they had to leave. One of the guys in there was a friend of Bill W.'s. We'd known him for several years before we got there. Actually, when we got into the Antelope Valleys where he met him at, he was decent enough. I liked him. And living in that area for Lancaster, there was a lot of activity concerning about criminal and everything else going on in surrounding areas. We weren't exactly in a safe area, but we actually had it locked up, so somewhat safe anyway. Except for a few noisy neighbors who drive you crazy. But that was home until we got to Rosemont. I'm going to jump back a little bit, okay? When we got into the high desert region back in '05, said before in my previous video, we were living in Palmdale at the time. We first got to a place on Avenue S. Now keep this in mind. In the And I had to learn this the hard way in Antelope Valley, so did my brother. In the San Fernando Valley compared to the Antelope Valley, the street names we would keep in our heads like crazy, the major streets, avenues and streets. Avenues would be north and south. Streets would be left and right, I think. Yeah, I know. Memory goes sometimes, and I have to keep remembering all this damn shit. Let me see something here. I just want to get a cross reference. Right. Okay, that's it. Okay, so the street in the San Fernando Valley is from east to west. Avenues are north to south. So keeping that formula alive in your head. When I look at the Antelope Valley, they have the number system of the streets from east to west. And there's a section that they would start from west and east. Basically from Sierra Highway. That would be their basis right there. I'm just trying to find out where the hell I am in this place. Well, I got too many things marked up in this, so I'm trying to scroll that I can, so I can get my bearings in this place. It's very confusing. But here it is. The avenues are alphabetical from A through S or T. A being the top portion of Los Angeles County, Kern County Bay Area. Heading, then B, southward, C, D, E, F, G. You know, going down the list and going from north to south. Okay? This is where it gets tricky because Sierra Highway is the divider line. And it starts from Santa Clarita, snaking all the way through the canyons and mountains until we get to the Antelope Valley, and then it heads up. Heads up all the way up until nearly Mojave, which is a long distance. But anything on the east side of Mojave, I don't know, east side, period, of the highway would be considered east. Anything from the west would be west. So if we're talking about 10th Street West, we're talking about west of the highway. East, east side. Got it? Cool. It's going to be a long while trying to figure that shit out. So, scrolling through this mess that we have. Oh, boy. Some of these neighborhoods would drive me crazy because how they're structured left and right. But the place we saw and the place we went to was on Avenue S. Avenue S is a major thoroughfare. R is not so much, but it's still a thoroughfare of sorts. The major one that we have is also Avenue P, Palmdale Boulevard. But this also constitutes a highway from the west end of the Antelope Valley, extending all the way out eastwards towards. Oh God, what else? Let me switch over to Street View on this one. There we go. All the way until I reached up until 47 and S. But then it still continues on until it goes on and on and on until we get to where the hell do we go to? Well, you probably would say a long ass way till about 240th Street East. It stops right there. We have another long ass road south that extended that extends all the way to the eastern end of the desert and the major highways that we have out there. It's very complicated out here in the Antelope Valley, I've discovered. Trying to navigate this area, oh, it'll drive me nuts on that one. Switch back to the regular layers on this one, to the confusing layout as it is. Avenue S, shall we talk about that place? So my family lived on an area of 27th Avenue and, I'm sorry, S Avenue and 27th Street. Used to be a fire station in the area. There still is. Every so often, we would hear the fire station go screaming out. That was alright. At least if there was any problems with the fires, or landscaping area, we wouldn't worry about it as much. So there was a house on R15 and 27th that was the corner house that they used to own. Refresh this one. So-called friends and so-called um, clients of Ma, when she ran her bookkeeping income tax business, had a foreclosure place, tricked us into it. They'd collect the rent, and they finally got the hell out of Dodge. Disappeared off the grid. We never found them again. Bastards. The house itself was a nice place. I think it still is. Owned by somebody else. And just for several months, it was a nice place to live. Hell of a commute from, I think it was about a year we lived in a place. It's a hell of a commute from Palmdale all the way over to Woodland Hills at the time. That's another one right there. I don't want to get into that one. But we lived in this particular house for a long while until, comes to the foreclosure shit. We got to get the hell out of the Dodge, so we started going through different places. Scrolling along Avenue S. Scroll along Avenue S on the Google Maps right now. Until we came to a place where it was, where the hell were we at? A major shopping center, Stater Brothers, where we got stuff at. Populous, where the hell are you at? Popular, where the hell are you at? You're right by Walmart, I know you are. Some of these streets out there are named and drove us crazy a little bit. Poplar, Populous, Poplar, something like that. Oh Lord, right by 47 and S, I can't even find a place. Ugh. Drove me and my brother crazy trying to navigate this damn place. Drove us crazy. Where the hell was it at? There it is. Populous. Populous. Okay, we found Populous. Yay! So in this particular area, we lived in a rundown house, but it was still home. Somewhat home anyway, but it was still a place to live anyway. We tried not to complain about it as much. It was a roof over the head, stuff to store our shit. And we had to stay there for about 6 to 8 months. In this particular area, I finally got the job over at Walmart after being about a month, actually about nearly a year of unemployment and dealing with the county of Los Angeles and its life support. Other videos. God. But this particular place, Ma was getting more and more bedridden, but she was actually able to be more ambulatory. And David and I would still get her out to the doctor's office as much. From here, actually, I got the job to Walmart. So Dave would take me all the way over to 10th Street West. It's a hell of a long distance, I'll tell you, just to get to this place for a couple of weeks in Lancaster. No, actually in Palmdale. I hated it, but it was still a job. Mom was still on my ass on that one. But it was still, we were still living in the valley, sucking up go-go juice until we had to move till Allen 10th in Lancaster. But from there, at least I could take a bus or be transported back and forth to Wally World. I hated that place, but it was still work. Let me show you where I used to work at. Close to the 14th freeway, and it was 10th Street West. It was, where the hell am I at? Oh shit, losing track of shit again. Yeah, it was. There's the Antelope Valley Mall. There's Palmdale Regional Hospital. It wasn't a bad hospital to go to, especially when you needed to go there a lot. It wasn't all that bad. Until. Okay, here's the shopping center. Okay, I had to look at the angle of the 14 freeway because landmarks, landmarks, landmarks. Okay, so let me show you about the PTSD I developed called Walmart. Looking at the 14 freeway with the angular shot going from northwest angle to the southeast angle. Like that. Left hand side, you would see a mall, the Antelope Valley Mall. It's a major landmark we've got. Major landmark. And the eyesore, right where the freeway curves to the north, you know, from the angle turns. Wally World. There's a lot of things I could say right now and do some weird ass descriptions on this one. But this was work for about 5 years. More than 5 years. Cashier for about a year, and then worked in the automotive department. Every time I keep seeing this damn place, I get the flashbacks. It's not exactly the memories, it's the feelings that I'm going through right now. Just looking at the eyesore. It's making me nauseous as hell. Because it damn near killed me. And in my videos, I've said something about tire dropping on my face on that one by a supervisor who wasn't paying attention what the fuck he's doing. They never bothered to apologize officially or formally. They wanted me out of there anyway. So fuck them. Bet they gave me so much grief, I swear to God. So anyway, that particular eyesore is still there. Some of the stores in the surrounding areas, they would change what they're doing. Restaurant here, a restaurant there, shut down. Another one takes its place. But that was the major eyesore. And for 5 years, going up and down the street of 10th Street on this one, from the Montecito Apartments on Allen 10th. From there, Dave and I had to look for a new home, right after Ma died, and we got into a legal hassle with the landlords in that corporate ville of theirs. That when we finally heard that there was a trailer park out in Roseman, we took the offer here. We heard about it. We went over there to investigate it. We saw, we walked through, we liked it. Signed out the damn paperwork, and like fools and idiots, we got into the damn place. Almost about a year and a half later, we got kicked out of the damn thing. Screwing people over left and right on that one. We weren't the only ones. It was called Trade Winds. It was off of 20th Street West. Let me show you something, Daryl. If you happen to switch to street maps, not terrain, I'll show you something here. Scroll on down where you actually see something called Avenue A. Okay? You're going along the 14 freeway heading southbound until you see Avenue A. Avenue A is the barrier. Okay? Avenue A is the barrier between Los Angeles County and Kern County. Okay? Put on the layers where you're seeing the satellite version of it. You gotta scroll your map a little bit closer where you see the exits off of A. Diamond Gyms. I've never been in there, but I heard their steaks were great. I don't know. They say the food's still expensive, but it's still there. So going along 20th, which almost parallels the freeway, almost. I scroll up to the trailer parks where it says Trade Winds on it. Trade Wind Mobile Estates. Left-hand side of the 20th, which would be on the west side of it. You see all these wind names on it. Wind Harp was the place we lived in. A double, not a single, but a double place. And my brother, we lived in this place. There was a neighbor next door to ours that actually had some dogs. Some of them were pretty damn lovely, but they tried to act like so damn mean. But we got used to them. One of the dogs they had to keep caging up because it was so damn destructive, they said. Mean. Well, no, just lonely. Just lonely. She was a nice dog, too. I missed her. I missed those neighbors. So it was one of the houses, it was one of the mobile homes in there that Dave and I lived for a long while. Lost most of our stuff in there, too. Especially when it came out for the eviction situation. I was home for a while. Became homeless. And we had to live in a motel in the area for a time. Until Dave got the place right where I am right now. I've been here ever since. A lot of memories. I could take you through a walkthrough of the Antelope, not through the Antelope Valley, but the San Fernando Valley. Called it a valley all my life. Just not today. Yesterday was kind of hard because I was going through the emotions. I was going through a lot of triggers, and I'm not apologizing for the stuff I kept saying online on the videos. Pretty much upfront and honest on that shit. It's a place I live. Not the greatest, but it's still a roof over the head. And besides, out here in the Antelope Valley, there's not much places to find home anyway. Some of the people are still trying to go up to Bakersfield, and some of the Bakersfields are coming down here. There was rumors that there was supposed to be more constructions happening along Sierra Highway concerning about more low income. I've heard the rumors. I hadn't seen the construction yet. Some of the neighbors out here don't like that. They don't want the trash coming from Lancaster or Palmdale into here. Even though we do get the trash from Lancaster and Palmdale into here anyway. Hiding out every time they keep doing something stupid down there. He'll stay out here, hide for a while, mark up the territories, and leave. Welcome to living out here in Roseman. Or worse, coming from going to Mojave, and not much place to live out there in Mojave. Yeah, I'm going to ask this of you again. Google Maps, Mojave. Mojave. And you'll see what kind of a town we're dealing with here regarding Mojave. Welcome to the community of Mojave. Scattered about even worse than Roseman. At least Roseman, at least most of the area is concentrated enough. Most of it. And it's depressing as hell out there, too. But out there in Mojave Aerospace Port, Utah's company, Dick and Bert's Utah company out there, aerospace. That's where we had a lot of aviation history being made out there. So yeah, it's pretty well known for tourist area, but for living out there, you got different communities, smaller, but it's still worse off than us. But they try, just like our town of Roseman tries. I can't say it's the best out here in the Antelope Valley. As I said before, coming from the San Fernando Valley and Los Angeles County and the city of Los Angeles and that kind of mentality there, there's certain expectations. You come out here, it's a whole different animal altogether, and I'm still learning more and more about it. I'm not converted. I still get the city and county of Los Angeles still buried deep in here. But I no longer recognize my old homestead. The valley was my home. I was born out in Huntington Beach, Downey Community Hospital. We lived out in Huntington Beach for about a couple of years before the family moved out to San Fernando Valley, and I became a Valley Light. I was home. Not just for the family making it home, but the place itself had changed so much that I no longer called the San Fernando Valley my home. I used to. There used to be some friends I loved like crazy out there. Still do, but I haven't heard from them in a hell of a long while. It still hurts when I don't hear from them. Anyway, I think that's about it. I'll be going back to bed again, sleeping a little bit longer. Then it's only Monday. I'm supposed to be getting this place cleaned up a little bit before they come back in for 9 o'clock spraying. So much for me trying to get a nap time or something like that. But I got to get something going on in this place. I'll talk at you later, dude.